Hello guys, welcome to part 3 of how to yield farm or yield farm tutorial or whatever you want to call it. So it's a beginner course, beginner friendly course. The playlist is in the description, and what we've got now is we put one Solana into ore and we made a wider range because we went out of range and we have a full range position and we are down. We put $20 each into these pool just to illustrate how Solana moves, but Solana's kind of ticking up, or our range is bang in the middle, so I don't know where it's going to go. I'm pretty optimistic. I might leave it in for a few days because the yield is pretty decent and we are slightly in profit. Now we have $5 here. We've got three choices. One is we harvest it all and we just sell it for profits. That is a good thing to do. However, what I like to do is systematically compound half. If your range is going to be in for more than a few days, which is likely, then I would suggest compound half of it. So take half out and then deposit half of it. So we have, let's say, 0.01 or, so we'd put 0.05 or, and then we'll keep the rest. We'll sell it, swap it into stables, and just leave it in our wallet. We'll decide later. But what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to harvest all of it. So about $5 worth of ore. And what we're going to do is we're going to buy something different. Now, because we have such a small amount, this strategy just is an example of how to diversify yourself. You might be doing this with a few $100 and you've got $50 and then it becomes worthwhile. So the strategy, what we're doing is we're going to buy one-sided positions on a token. So we're going to swap this all into Solana and we have $5 into a token. So we're going to demonstrate one-sided positions and how they work really well. I am going to do this with Bitcoin, and let's do it with Coinbase's Bitcoin. Now what we're going to do is we're going to provide liquidity on the downside. We're not going to provide anything on the upside. So let's do it with, let's just swap some USDC, which gives us around $5, I guess. So we've got $5 in profits. Remember, this is profit. This is just for you to hold long term. So I think personally, let's see what I think personally. Let's say the bottom of Bitcoin is 74. Yeah, this is just a long term position. I'm basically just leaving my dollars there to accumulate. Now what we're doing is we're dragging this all the way down to here, and we are going to just be able to put our dollars. I'll have to refresh. Now, what this does is it's a good example of us being able to illustrate how yield farming actually works and why it works like it does. So it was about 74, wasn't it? Let's go here. So this is anticipating a fall in Bitcoin. And what we want it to do is fall into our range, hang around for a bit, accumulate some Bitcoin and dollars, and then bounce back up like so. That's what we're betting on. I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm just giving you as an example. You can do this with meme coins. But if we say $5 into Bitcoin, and you notice here, the Bitcoin is showing up. So I want to just remove this or lower it. And now we're in our range. This means that our $5, each little, you see these little marks, these little gray bars, each little bit, our $5 gets spread out all the way there. So we have maybe 5 cents here, 5 cents here, 5 cents here. And at these levels and at that price point, so this might be, 89K, our 5 cents will get used amongst all the other liquidity in the pool. And we get a share of fee equated to the amount of liquidity we've provided. So I'm going to just deposit this just to illustrate it. Now, what this does, it protects our dollars most of the way down. Usually when we drop about 20% around here, we should still have our $5. But as it falls down, our $5 gets swapped into Bitcoin. And then we accumulate Bitcoin and we can compound. So this is a one-sided position. It is by far my most common entry. 90% of my entries are in basically a one-sided play. I don't tend to do positions where it's like, oh, let's do really well and buy something with a two-sided. I don't tend to buy. Tend to just provide Solana. Now, another example is we could do it with Bonk, but we could do it with Solana. So Bonk is, I don't know, 1 point something million market cap. So we can say, I think Bonk is at the floor now, but I want to provide liquidity down. Oh my God. Let's say, let's say I want to provide liquidity. I think Bonk is going to drop 50%. Let's say, just a random guess. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to provide just Solana. Let's try and get it at $5. I just want to make sure it's right tight at the top. We might have to click a bit. So until Bonk shows, refresh it quickly. And then I'm just going to deposit $5 worth of Bonk with a 50% drop. Now, the other thing is, on the one-sided, you don't have to provide liquidity at the top, so you can make your ranges slightly lower. Now, the downside is we want it to dip and bounce. If it just drops, that's a really bad sign. So I sometimes do all the way to the bottom and I provide liquidity. It's really good to do it at the bottom. It's very safe. If it dips anymore, it's likely to floor out here. So at the floor of meme coins, it's really, really good. So notice our Solana and our USDC, if it goes up, it will just stay there in our thing. And if you've made the bad choice, which maybe I have, then I can just swap and sell. Now, I'm not going to make anything with this $5. It's probably going to, and it's quite a wide range. We're probably not going to make anything with it, but it's just to illustrate how to actually move your liquidity or your profits into other things. Tomorrow, I might have $5 more, which I might drop into each of them. So it just depends on how it's going to move and how you can actually start to build a portfolio of different strategies. So if the market rallies up, my Solana is going to do well. If the market starts to tank down, Bitcoin and my Bonk will actually be there and to actually give me some sort of yield and also start to accumulate more of Bonk and Bitcoin. Of course, this is a very risk heavy strategy because we put such a low amount. We put like 1.2 Solana in total, but we're looking to turn this into, a 2x. It's possible even with a small amount. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Check out the full playlist. The link is in the description, and I wish you all the best and take care.